For Italian gentlemen, fashion is all about dressing with confidence and ease. When dressing, they are keen on creating a subtle balance between casualness and formality. Well, this isn't surprising, as there is a relationship between fashion and arts. So, if they do well with arts, they shouldn't struggle when it comes to fashion. Although certain fashionistas understand the relationship between fashion and arts, we can easily say that as a people, the Italians have been able to explore this relationship to extreme depths, and this is evident in their fashion masterpieces, choice of outfits, and style in general. You might say you are not Italian or weren't born in Italy, so you struggle to explore the relationship between fashion and art, but that's not true. You can dress as beautifully as an Italian gentleman in summer, and you don't even need to study how they dress. All you need to do is go all the way with this video. We know just what you need and have put together tips to help you dress like an Italian gentleman this summer. Number 3 is a little daring, but works just fine. 1. You should own an unlined jacket. It's common knowledge that every man needs a jacket. This is because it's almost impossible to go wrong when wearing one. As factual as this might seem, sometimes wearing a jacket in summer might not seem like the best of decisions, as staying cool could be quite challenging, but the Italians actually have a way out, and that's quite an easy one. They put on unlined linen jackets in summer. This fits just as well as other jackets. However, you don't have to deal with the heat associated with wearing a regular jacket in summer. 2. Quality over quantity. It's great to own a lot of outfits if you can afford to. However, if you must choose between having a lot of outfits and having a few of great quality, you have to pick the latter. This might mean you get to repeat your outfits a couple of times, but that's not a problem. You can take a cue from Italian gentlemen, as they have a reputation for prioritizing quality over quantity. You see, when you compare the wardrobe content of the typical Italian to that of the average guy from other parts of the world, you might be shocked to realize that they don't have as many outfits as the average guy from other countries. That, however, is not a problem, as your clothes can actually last you as long as you want if you buy the best. Now, it's one thing to know that you need quality clothing items and another to actually know how to get these items, but that's not a problem. If you must get value for every single clothing item you buy, you should focus on getting natural fabrics like linen, light wool, or cotton. As much as some folks might be interested in getting synthetic materials, you must have gotten a good number of natural fabrics before considering something synthetic. 3. Put on pink. You probably grew up with the notion that pink is a color exclusively for women. While this notion is widespread, and one that lots of men are both unwilling and significantly unable to unlearn, it is absolutely right. You see, back in the day, young men actually wore pink. As a matter of fact, it wasn't exactly a general color, but one suitable for men. Things have changed significantly now, but that doesn't mean you can wear pink. As a matter of fact, you should wear pink more frequently. It's an easy way to look colorful. While pink in itself is beautiful, it looks a lot better when mixed with neutral colors. That's not all. It's a color that can always come in handy as an accent. Some men feel like ladies don't like it when men put on pink. If this is what you have always thought, you definitely need a change of mind, because the ladies don't actually have a problem with men putting on pink. If you're not bold enough to wear a pink shirt or jacket, you can put on pink accessories. 4. Wear neutral colors. Color is a big part of fashion. You most likely already know this, but what you probably don't know is Italians look so great because of their color choices. Unlike Americans, Italians aren't really interested in wearing loud colors. They are basically all about simple, natural colors. So, what people with other fashion styles might actually achieve by following trends and wearing loud colors, they achieve by wearing properly tailored outfits. Of course, neutral colors aren't trendy and might not seem as eye-catching as you might want. However, they are timeless and can be worn to virtually every event. With loud colors, there are places you just can't go until you have a change of outfit. However, neutral outfits can help you blend in effortlessly. 5. Take advantage of accents. At this point, you probably know that you should stick to neutral colors. However, sometimes you might feel like your outfit looks boring and might be tempted to wear loud colors. Well, you don't exactly need loud colors. What you need is an accent. You see, lots of Italian men spice up their appearance by simply incorporating accents into their outfits, and they don't seem to spend extra funds to do this. If you aren't sure what this is, an accent is simply a piece that stands out of an entire outfit and easily gets attention. Of course, not everything can be an outfit. Interestingly, there are no hard and fast rules as to what fashion items can come in handy as an accent. This means an accent can be a necklace, a pair of cufflinks, a bracelet, a tie, a scarf, a hat, shoes, a leather bag, a pocket square, a pair of sunglasses, a leather bag, or even a very colorful shirt. Some folks even take things to the next level by wearing a jacket as an accent. Well, if a jacket has to be worn as an accent, it has to be really eye-catching. Since there is really no rule as to what fashion item can be worn as an accent, you are free to show off your personality, maybe break a couple of fashion rules, and generally show how creative you can be with your outfit. Well, if you are able to pull this off properly, you could be considered one of the most stylish people around. This next tip is a step to becoming stylish. 6. It's okay to experiment. Fashion has rules, and if there is just one set of people that is well aware of these rules, they are the Italians. You probably know this. However, it's interesting how the same set of men are the most likely to break whatever fashion rule exists. This might generally seem like a bad move, but it is really them experimenting. How else do you think they have been able to stay on top of their fashion game for so long? You see, as much as knowing and sticking to fashion rules will help you look good, you can even look better by experimenting. You don't necessarily have to overlook the existing rules. You basically need to tweak the existing rules to suit your taste, personality, and occasion. According to the general rules of fashion, there are colors that shouldn't be mixed. Well, someone came up with these rules, and if you think you can do better with the colors at your disposal, please feel free to try something. You never know. Your idea could birth a fashion trend or even a rule. That's not all. You shouldn't limit yourself to colors. It is okay to experiment with fabrics and even accessories. Just like trying out something new, when experimenting with fashion, you are bound to make some mistakes. If this is anything to go by, you shouldn't feel out of place when you make mistakes while trying to experiment with fashion. While going through this process, you will come across styles that look great. 7. Pay attention to proportions. Lots of men don't exactly think about proportions when selecting outfits. This might not really seem like a lot, but this is something Italians pay attention to that makes them seem like global fashion icons. If you have taken a good look at several Italian men, you must have noticed that their outfits always appear to sit perfectly on their bodies, making it seem like all their outfits are custom-made. While it might seem like a fact, it actually isn't. The Italians have an approach to fashion that makes them stand out, and that approach is really all about proportions. When thinking about proportions, the average Italian thinks about balance. One thing they have in mind when putting together every outfit is ensuring there is a balance. No part of the outfit overshadows another. On the surface, it might seem like you need to be a fashion expert to get your balance right, but all you really need is to own a mirror. With a mirror, you can effortlessly gauge your outfit's silhouette. This looks very simple, but as effective as a fashion method can get. 8. Practice your outfits. When an Italian man shows up to an event, it almost seems like he looks effortlessly stylish. Well, that's great, as the aim is to actually look stylish without it seeming like you put in any effort. Interestingly, behind the scenes, there is a lot of planning. Italians don't just show up without first having deep thoughts about what they wear. As a matter of fact, sometimes they get fully clothed a long time before stepping out in an outfit. When you do this regularly, you will have lots of outfits that you are sure look great on you. Once you get to this point, you will no longer have to put in a major effort into looking good, as you have already done all the work that there is to do. You see, practicing a set of outfits before stepping out in public will always help you look good, but that's just one of the things it will help you achieve. It will ultimately help you get comfortable in your skin. This might not really seem like it, but if you don't have prior knowledge of what your outfit looks like, even if you look good in it, you just might be unsure. Interestingly, no matter how great an outfit looks on you, if you are unsure of how good the fitting is, you will be necessarily self-conscious, and this will affect how people perceive you. 9. Get knowledgeable about shoes. Everyone wants to be comfortable when dressed up, and this is a reason several men settle for comfortable shoes. Sometimes this isn't a bad choice, but sneakers don't work for every outfit. Well, this is where loafers come in. And while you just might be learning about this, lots of Italians have mastered wearing loafers. Since different shoes are needed for different occasions, you don't have to limit yourself to just one type of loafers. If you are big on staying cool, you can get perforated suede or leather loafers. The many tiny holes serve as inlets for air, ultimately making you feel cool. So, you see, dressing like an Italian gentleman isn't difficult. You don't even need to be a fashionista to do this. You simply need to be able to learn and unlearn fashion concepts and appreciate tips from the best-dressed people in Europe. These tips are new to many people, but a handful of people know them already. So, which of these tips do you know, and what tips do you think should be in this video? Kindly tell us in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Keep refining your style. And remember, confidence never goes out of fashion.